I'm Donnie, D-O-N-I, and you're watching Cultures TV, your global diversity resource. Today we have a panel of fantastic women whom I will let introduce themselves because I don't even think I'm up to the task. But we're going to talk about a number of issues that are timely, and the issues are very much circulating in the United States of America. We'll bring a little bit of international perspective to it, but it's really about the United States today. So I will start from the right to the left, my right, and have you each introduce yourselves. First, we have...
Hi, Alyssa Bucksbaum.
Christine Manzanares.
Ashley Moore.
Latoya Noel.
And so our panel is very, very educated, very insightful, work at universities, vice principals for middle schools, and have a lot of viewpoints on the things that are happening today, diversity in the United States, and the Oscars in particular. So we've seen the video by Jada Pinkett Smith and calling for a boycott of the Oscars. Who is the one? Spike Lee joined her in that boycott. So that brings me to my first question for you all, okay? And I want to hear it. I want to hear what you have to say. Like, we watched the video of Jada talking about dignity and about pride, and not saying that it's about exclusion, but about making sure that African Americans in the United States have a voice, and that the Oscars don't know what that voice is or haven't been good about being diverse, not just even with the African American community. I think she means diversity as a whole. So how do you all feel about that? Jump right in.
I mean, starting with the video, for me, I struggle with just how it was presented. I think if it was if she's talking to her friends and her peers, I just don't, couldn't you have a conversation with them? I feel like the video was more for people, for us, than it was for, it was almost like a show, than actually talking about the real issues on a more basic or personal level. So for me, that just kind of puts me off, and what her goal and intentions were they absolute pure and coming from a good place. I think that's where I kind of struggle with. But
I think that she makes some valid points in the video. I think that one of the sources of power in our society comes from economics, you know, to be able to create for yourself, to build for yourself. And I think there's a lot of power in that. So she speaks well on that note. However, I do question her motives at times. It's no secret that her husband didn't get an Oscar nomination, so that may have had some part to play in it. I'm not exactly sure. Had it happened, maybe the table was different. I can't say. However, I guess my argument about the situation is, while it is a very valid point, I think of it in terms of on an individual level, a person is able to devote attention to so much, right? You have this working memory capacity that when it reaches a critical moment, you can only take in so much information and do something. And it's different for everybody, right? So I think if you move it even on a more group societal level, right, there's even a working memory capacity for groups of individuals where you have to decide whether or not if a stimulus or this one is more important than the other, and what tasks do you handle before the others. And to the point that Aunt Viv or Ms. Hubert made about there being other issues going on in the community at large at this time. I mean, where do you decide to put your energies and your attention and your resources when you are limited? You have to economize. And for me personally, I don't think the Oscars is as pertinent or as immediate as other situations that call for economic empowerment in our community.
Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. We're going to go away for a second. We'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about that economic empowerment, about Janet Hubert's comments, and then Alyssa, we'll hear what you had to say as well. So we'll be right back.